Hi, welcome back to my channel. Kids are back to school, and today I would like us to discuss about what happens when you have a child in Geneva. So I registered Binta for daycare. So school starts at 4 years old. For most people, the first thing you do after you get your gynecologist, after you do get your positive pregnancy test, call your gynecologist, get an attestation that you're pregnant, and then apply for daycare because the waiting list is very, very long. And if they don't get in as babies, you have to wait until somebody moves out for you to be able to get in. So my son did manage to join, but then we moved to a different place. And since I don't want, you either have to work or live in the commune for you to qualify for a place. I don't live or work in the commune anymore, so I had to be put on a different list, and yeah, so I'm in the waiting list for that. But in the meantime, he will be going for something called Mama du Jour, which is a day mother, where somebody takes care of four children in her house of similar age. And yeah, so the difference between that is just the number. They are not as many, and it's not, the activities are not as many as it would be in the creche, because in the creche it feels more like school, which would be a good experience for when he goes to school, because there is no kindergarten or nursery before he goes to primary school. He just goes to 1P at 4 years old. So that is what's a bit sad, but it kind of excites me that he found something. It's 4 days a week, and I'm excited about that. So the options are for childcare are, you can either hire a nanny, which is a bit on the expensive side, because you have to pay them the legal salary, you have to declare them, and most of the time that can add up. There is also the second option of having an au pair. An au pair is basically somebody who you recruit, you live with, and they work taking care of the child, and they also go to school to learn the language. So normally it's usually somebody coming from a different country who wants to learn the language. I think there are rules like you cannot have somebody from your country, you cannot have somebody from a country that speaks the same language as you. So for example, if you're francophone, you're not allowed to have a francophone person coming to learn German. It doesn't make sense, because you will not be, they will not be practicing in their country, in their house. So that's how the au pair system works. I'm going to put a link down to the au pair. I never did au pair. I did a lot of babysitting, but I never did au pair. But I have quite a lot of friends who came to Europe actually by being au pairs. And well, they came as au pairs, and I don't know, married somebody, or I don't know, fell in love and decided to stay. And many came, learned the language, and moved on. And yeah, so it's a good cultural exchange kind of thing, and lots of people do that from many different countries. I think there are countries that limit which au pairs can come to their country, like from which countries. But I mean, you can check that on the website. I'm not sure if that works right now with COVID and everything. But anyway, it's also a good way to make sure that you're moving to a country and you have a job that is secure, and you have accommodation, and everything is taken care of for you. The other option is now the Mama du Jour, which is what I am doing, and that depends on your commune. In some communes, it's quite well organized, like the commune I'm in Mera Vernier. They have a very good system where the waiting list is one, and all the mama dojos are registered, and they meet together, and they have trainings, and they have, so it's really, really centralized. You actually do not even pay the mama dojo, you pay the association, and then the association pays them. So it's actually quite organized. You pay according to your salary. So they take your salary and using that they calculate how much you pay. So it ends up being cheaper by the hour, by the day, than if you actually paid a nanny or an au pair to stay at home with your kid. Of course, the advantage of the nanny is you can also have a nanny who cleans and stuff like that, and you don't have to, your child doesn't have to leave the house. But then on the other hand, and you do need a nanny because when they start the creche or the mama du jour, these children are getting sick, they are getting infections, and they keep staying home because he has diarrhea, he's vomiting, he has a fever for no apparent reason, he's coughing, he has so many things. They chicken pox, they just get everything. Hand, foot, and mouth, they get everything. Anyway, so that's what happens with the mama du jour. Then the creche is amazing. That is what most people want their children to go to. I was very surprised that there are people who actually do not want their children to go to the creche. So the creche also depends on which commune you are in, but every single commune has a waiting list. And there are private creches, there are creches which are subsidized by the government. For some weird reason in Geneva, there are not enough places in the creche. I have no idea why. And I think somebody told me it's quite political why they do not create more creche places, and hoping that changes in future, but well, for now it's not changed. So what happens is most people, after they've done their pregnancy test, they go straight to the website, call the creche, and start looking for the place. They put themselves on their waiting list. So what happens is you have to register, and once you've registered, you wait, and then they call you. The creches go with the same formula as the school, so there's a cutoff period, which is the 31st of July. So everybody has to be born by the 31st of July for them to qualify for a certain group. So a group has children who are born from the 1st of August. For example, AJ's group was the people who were born on the 1st of August 2019 until 30th of July 2020, and that was now the baby group. And then, so you have the 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds. The advantage with the creche is the exposure. They have activities. They end up having so many different experiences, and it's like school. And because in Geneva, I think I've mentioned before that they don't have nursery or kindergarten, so they come from creche at 4 years old. They go straight to 1P. And of course, 1P, they are not really doing much. They are doing more counting and just singing and stuff like that. But at least for the social aspect, for the child to already be used to a routine, it helps when they're in the creche to begin with. So I'm kind of excited about that. I'm excited that he will be going to the mama du jour. I will be able to get some sanity, because working from home and taking care of a child is really not that easy. And I can't wait for that to happen. So on the other hand, I'm waiting to do my video tomorrow about the amazing system that is the primary school system. My daughter has great experiences. She's almost finishing primary school, so I would like to do the video and just talk about her experience and how it has been for us to be in the local school. And well, it's funny because she's been in 3 of them, so we've had quite interesting experiences in the 3. So just remember to subscribe, remember to share, and remember to suggest for me any topics that you would like us to discuss, and we will be able to discuss this. Thank you. Bye bye.